Mac here and welcome to another Assetto Corsa mod showcase. This is a series where I review and showcase the best mods that Assetto Corsa currently has to offer. Today I'm looking at the Formula 79 mod by Race Sim Studio. This is the third car released by the modding group after the Formula Hybrid and Formula RSS2 mods. And this car is based on the Lotus 79, which was used in 1978 and 1979, and it took Mario Andretti and Lotus to championship glory in 1978. You'll notice that the livery is very familiar. It's the John Player Special livery that is quite famous. You saw it in Senna's Lotus in the 70s and 80s, and it looks absolutely beautiful. That's actually a mod that you can find on Race Department. I'll link that down below. The liveries that come with the mod are quite nice, but they're not quite as nice as this JPS Lotus livery that I'm running at the moment. So to talk about this car, it was pretty much ahead of its time. It was almost like a spaceship in the late 70s, purely because of the ground effect that Lotus had developed with their previous car, the Lotus 78. They sort of took the ground effect, which produces a ton of downforce, and basically perfected it with the Lotus 79, and because of that they won a bunch of races in 1978. This was also the first car to be designed by computers, which is quite an interesting fact. I did look up sort of information on this car, and that was one of the facts on this car. And because of the ground effect, which produces downforce using the floor of the car essentially, this has a massive amount of grip through high-speed corners, not as much through low-speed corners. There's not as much mechanical grip to sort of compensate for the loss of downforce, but through high speed it is an absolute monster. Many of the corners that you're watching right now could probably be taken completely flat with this car just because of the amount of grip and downforce that is produced through high-speed corners. One drawback with this car is that the top speed isn't very high because of the ground effect and the drag that the car produces. I thought this was a glitch to do with the setup at first. I tried fixing the setup to increase the top speed and changing the gearing and things like that, but that's the actual top speed. It only really gets to about 150, 160 miles per hour. I'm not sure what that is in kilometers, but it doesn't have a very high top speed, but it makes up for it in the corners because you can really push the corners as much as you want. And through low speed corners, the car is quite a lot of fun. It's sliding around a lot. The power delivery is quite brutal out of some corners, especially the first chicane on this track. I was power sliding this car quite a lot just out of the slow corners, just because I really couldn't resist doing that. It's just too tempting with this car. Now the engine for this car sounds absolutely incredible, especially when you get in the high rev ranges. It's got a 3 litre Ford V8 engine which produces about 450 horsepower, which doesn't sound a lot, but then again, this car wasn't really made for sort of high speed, like straight lines like Monza. It was made for cornering quicker and essentially using the full effect of ground effect. So if you love driving retro F1 cars, then you'll probably love this. I'd have to say this is probably one of my favourite mods currently on Assetto Corsa. It's so fun pushing this car to the absolute limits, sort of reducing the wings, basically throwing out at corners and things like that. So anyway, this has been a mod showcase for the Formula 79 car. Thanks for watching, and I will speak later.